but it doesn't necessarily mean top down, because we've got a slope and we're protecting some areas of glass. The principle of cleaning levels is obviously cleaning a pane of glass that has nothing dripping from above. And when we come to the sills, just to clear up any issues, we clean the sills upstairs with the brush. Downstairs, we don't clean the sills with the brush, we clean it with the rag at the end, okay? Water pressure. Water pressure is a major one. When we come to cleaning, the water pressure, the way to judge the correct water pressure shouldn't be bouncing off the pane at the foot away. So at the foot away, we should have a nice waterfall. If you can hear it bouncing back off onto the wall, then that's too much pressure. And if it's not quite reaching the glass, obviously it's too less. So we want a pressure where it hits the window nice and strong at 1 foot away, but without much splashback. That's the perfect pressure. We have to suck and see. So when we clean each pane, it's like round the outside of the frame, in the middle, and the rinse is the most important part. Make sure the rinse goes just up to the top edge of the pane, not above it, just to the top edge. So around the edge, back across the top and colour it. Other kind of things that would affect the property and the timing of the way we're cleaning levels would be things like conservatories, or like you have there, an outdoor porch. An outdoor porch would affect the level cleaning. Obviously it would start top down, top windows first of all, then when we come to do the bottom windows, rather than waiting for the drips to stop, approach the porch first of all, and then once you've approached the porch, then tackle the downstairs windows or so. Again, your perfect height of the brush, you should extend it using your leg, take the weight of the leg. When it gets up to a certain point, the perfect working height should be with the brush butt between ankle and knee height, and the brush head towards the upper area of the window you're cleaning.
Okay.
Once you finish the third pane on the centre glass, step to the side. After your last rinse, step to the side, catch your brush on the edge, and then you just give a quick clean on the sill of the upper floor. Once you clean the sill on the upper floor, look at the colour of the water dripping off as an indication that the sill is clean then.
Yeah, but
Again, once you clean the one pane, after the both panes are cleaned, brush to the side, touch the edge, look at the colour of the water to make sure it's clean. Once you know it's clean, the benefit of cleaning the sill with a brush upstairs, in fact, it catches half the drip that's going to fall on the pane below. So it means you get a more efficient clean. Barriers to clean in. When we're cleaning the levels method, sometimes people opt to rinse the water onto the glass after each third pane, so rinsing all at the same time, which is ineffective. Because if you're waiting for that to drip down from above, then you're going to get a lot more drips all in the same area. By cleaning each pane and rinsing as we go, so each pane should be washed, rinse, wash, rinse, wash, rinse individually. So it reduces the time you're waiting for the drips to dry up from above. at this point now, bottom window is clean, as we know. We cleaned the top level before we went upstairs because it was not necessarily a top-down approach to cleaning with levels. Now we clean the bottom one. Don't be tempted to use the brush to clean the bottom edge sill because it's counterproductive. One, you'll get muck on the end of your brush, which will affect the cleaner later in the day. And also, the water that's now dripped down onto the sill is wetting any contamination or any dirt on there, which means it's softer to wipe off with the rag once we've finished. Now the old part of the house, you can move on to the top level, use the door while we're waiting for the drips on the top level to finish dripping, and then back to the bottom level as it drips. On these set of windows, if we clean each window and then rinse all the way across the top 3 panes at the same time, by now they'd all be dripping at the same speed. But as you can already see, the drips from the far left window, the first window, have almost stopped already. Time we clean the door and go back to our original window, then we'll be well away from any drips from above and any potential contamination when we finish cleaning. When we clean doors, let's make sure, as well as catching the glass areas, the window area, one important is not to miss is any horizontal edge because they gather dust. So after we've done the glass areas of the door and the surrounds, always make sure, go thoroughly with a bit of a turn on the brush to ensure we catch the horizontal edges because that's where the dust gathers. And that's where people first notice we've been when they come home from work at the day we clean the windows. So horizontal edges.
Sorry.
Horizontal edges. And again, the bottom edge, little rinse on the way past, and then wait till we wipe it with a rag, not clean it with a brush. Okay, and that's it basically. So we've cleaned the property. Everything now is as it should be. It's all clean, it's all drying nicely. We just need to wipe the sills. But at the moment, that sill is probably ready for wiping. That is definitely not ready for wiping because it's still dripping from below. We only wipe the sills. The idea of wiping the sills is not only to remove the muck, it's to leave them bone dry when we finish. So the idea of buffing the sill means that when we walk in the way, it's confident nothing else is dripping on above. So if it's a case of we have to pack the brush away to come back to wipe the sills, that's what we do. Or ideally, if you're cleaning 2 properties, clean the both properties, then go back once we finish the both properties and packed up to wipe ourselves at the end. So it's we're confident that it's dry and clean and a thorough job each time then. Okay? Can't say that. Okay, so once we're happy, we've done our 2 properties, we clean this house, clean the other house, we know everything is finished dripping. You don't necessarily have to wait till you have to clean another property, but a good idea, once you clean a front or the whole house, clean it. Don't wipe the sills until, if there's only one house to do, pack up our equipment, put it on, reel back on, we're nice and ready to go, and then come back to do the sills, because the good thing about doing the sills, we catch the both edges, the top and the bottom edge with them with the rags. And once we're confident, with one wipe, we know it's completely clean and completely dry. When we've left, nothing's going to drip from above and cause contamination. And also, it's a good opportunity while cleaning, just have a quick look around, make sure that there's no patterns of possible contamination. If when we get to this stage and it's still wet on the window, today is a very dry, sunny day, so it'll dry very quickly. On a colder day, it might not necessarily dry so fast. An indication of where the contamination could be left after we leave is if we see clusters of drips, so if we see a pattern of 10 or so lines of water, drips of water in a line, anything that's got a pattern, it's contaminated basically. So we're looking for sporadic droplets on the water, on the window, and that's an indication it's clean and tidy. So again, always the other side. One wipe, catch the top and the bottom edge, just checking for cobwebs and contamination on the glass. we know it's clean. And then when we move on to the doors, slightly differently. Again, catch the edge of the door. We know it's clean, but we're looking rather at the glass on the doors, we're looking at the horizontal edges. So any horizontal edges that are awkward to get to with a brush, just give those a quick wipe, making sure the rag is dry. Just the top edges. And then the job is complete. Place the mat and we're finished.